Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of notanalog.com. Today I'm looking at the HTC One X. Now this phone is fantastic. It's fantastic. To give you, okay, let's start with the specs, because everyone likes the numbers. And let's start with the raw numbers. Here's the numbers. 1.5 gigahertz quad-core processor. One of the best processors that I have seen built into a phone. Let's remember this is a phone. Only 130 grams, so it's not very heavy at all. 8mm thin, so it's not very thick either. It has a 1280 by 720 pixel display, meaning it's high definition. Not full high def at 1080, but it's high definition. And it's a 4.7 inch screen. The image on this is has to be seen to be believed. It's fantastic. It is so crystal clear and the colors are so beautiful. It's hard to show you like this. Anyway, I mentioned I had Android 4.0 Icecream Sandwich. Did I? Maybe I didn't. But it's the first HTC phone to have it, and I think that's fantastic. It looks great. It runs the new 4.0 Sense, HTC Sense, which is good. They've cleaned it up, they made it a lot smoother and a lot less clunky. I like that. 32 gig of storage, so a fair bit to go around, but no micro SD or expandable storage. Can't even take the case off. It has a built-in battery, which means you can't ever swap out the batteries. Micro SIM, so you're going to be taking out that big SIM and moving into the micro version, and it pops in there. Not a big deal that it has a tray, but I miss the expandable storage part of things. But 32 gig, that's good to have. 1 gig of RAM, not a big deal. I think the processor is a lot more important these days than just the RAM. So try and, I'm rattling off numbers, but let's try not get too lost in them. Okay, the camera on the back, this sort of camera which you can see extruding out from the back of the case, 8 megapixels, single LED flash. Would have preferred a dual, especially in low light situations. I think that in a dark room, when I've used it sometimes, like in a club scene, you don't get a lot of brightness out of that flash. I wanted more. I think a dual LED would have been brilliant. The 8 megapixel camera shoots 1080p video, and it shoots incredible photos, which I'll talk a bit more about later on. The camera on the front, 1.3 megapixels, capable of doing 720p video calling. Fantastic, really good, because video calling is becoming a lot more of the norm. I think people are doing it a lot more, Skype and Google Talk and so on. Something to keep in mind there. Just a little bit more about the images in terms of specifications. It's got a dedicated chip built in for taking photos. That allows you to take photos while you're even videoing. So you could be videoing something and at the same time press that camera button and you can take still images at the same time. That's pretty impressive. It's got the Beats audio technology built in. You can tell that because it's got a little sticker on the back, but it's also got some software in there. It really does enhance any music or any sound that you're hearing on the phone. It doesn't ship with Beats headphones, but just the fact that it has that technology built in, you do notice the difference. Obviously, you can also enjoy it further by buying the headphones. I mentioned the 1800 milliamp hour battery. It's a good sized battery. However, I would have preferred... No, let me start again. It is a good battery. It's probably the right size for the phone. However, I'm not getting a lot of battery life out of it. But again, I'll talk about that soon. It's got an NFC chip built in. Great. A lot more phones are starting to get these NFC chips. What it means is that we're starting to do more with contactless stuff. I received a business card the other day. Here it is here actually. And when I tap the phone onto the business card, all the contact details straight in the phone. That's handy. That means that I don't have to type it all individually. It just tap and go. You're going to see that a lot more for brochures, posters, things like that, where you can just swipe your phone past it, get the details and keep moving. That's something handy. DLNA, of course, for media sharing your photos and video with your TV or your PlayStation or other media devices. Wi-Fi as standard, I think. Bluetooth, again, a standard feature, I think, on phones these days. And HTC has also given you, provided you bought the phone, a 25 gig Dropbox storage. Now what that means is cloud storage, 25 gig of space for you to put anything you like, documents, photos, videos from the phone, store it up in the cloud. If you lose the phone, you haven't lost all of the memories that you've captured on the phone. Fantastic. The phone only stores 32 gig of data anyway, so 25 gig is going to tie you over quite well. Something which I think HTC should get a little pat on the back about. That's fantastic. So let's talk about the things that I've experienced besides just the specs. You could have read that on the brochure. Now, the battery on this, for me, has not been good enough. I've achieved between 11 and 12 hours. By then, if I don't have a charger, I'm in a lot of trouble. And to me, that's not good enough. I think that for somebody who unplugs their phone from the charger at 6 a.m. should be able to make it to bed that evening with the phone still turned on. If I don't charge it by 6 p.m. or 7 p.m, this thing will pretty much turn off, and then I will be without a phone. And for somebody who tends to do things after work, I mean, I might catch up with friends, or I might go to a media event or something like that, I need to be able to have this phone up until and past 11 p.m. or midnight with me all the time. And if I don't, then I've lost contact with the world, possibly can't get home because I need a taxi, and so on. And you can't find payphones anymore, and it's not easy to find someone who's got a spare charger on them so you can get a free charge. To me, that's not good enough, and I think there's probably something wrong with the phone itself. There needs to be some software update or something for this phone. When you look at the power settings, it looks like 26+% is being used on the screen, on powering the screen. Now, even when I set the screen to automatic so it dims and stuff like that, depending on the light situations, it's not making a huge difference. I feel like something in the phone isn't working properly, and I'm waiting for HTC to, recognize it and fix it, and I think that will happen. So that's one. The second thing, not a negative, is the camera. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the from a lock screen. I can go straight to the camera. So here's me, obviously, and you've got the camera button and the video button. Now, when I press the camera button once, I've just taken a photo. That was pretty quick. Now, what's even better is if I hold the button in, that's still taking photos. I've just taken, how many photos did I just take? 12. I just took 12 shots. 12 shots at 8 megapixels. So they're full quality pictures, and they took, a few seconds to take as well. It shoots 4 frames per second. And one of the brilliant things about it is that it doesn't reduce the image quality when you do that. So if you want to capture a moving object, someone running, someone doing something like kicking a goal or whatever it is, just hold the button in, boom, 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 you're going to get that shot. You're going to get that one that you want, and then you can save it. So I think that's pretty impressive. You can also do slow motion video. You can add effects to it. You can do so much more, panoramic shooting and stuff like that. You can do some really, really impressive photography with the camera on your phone these days. You do not need your little point and shoot $80 camera from wherever you buy them from any longer. The camera on that is just phenomenal. Front facing camera, also very good. A lot of people are doing the whole self-portrait thing and then putting it on Facebook and whatever. That's going to be a good phone for it. The camera on the back is just, it's outstanding. I just would have liked to have seen a dual LED flash for those low light situations, but the focus is great. The images which I've taken on this phone have been very, very good, very high quality, and it's definitely something which I'm impressed with. Besides that, I love the phone. I just want it to last longer. It's one of those things, sometimes you enjoy something so much that it just disappears too quick. It always sounds a little wrong, but yeah, sometimes you just want things to last longer. And for me, I want my phone to last longer. 11 hours just isn't enough. I want it to be longer than that. So we'll see what HTC does, but otherwise I have no hesitation in still recommending the phone. But if you buy one, buy a car charger and buy a spare charger. One for home, one for work, and one for the car. Because you're going to need it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Oh, one last thing. If you're from the US or Canada, I hear that you guys have the access to this phone, but only in a dual-core version. Oh. Thanks for watching, guys. Speak soon. Bye.